Recently, the royal palace has been swirling with rumors of a ghostly apparition. It's about a woman in white, floating and dancing in the air. This phenomenon has been occurring for 2 weeks now, appearing every night atop the East Gate's walls. Meow Meow, who had just arrived at the Jade Palace, was unaware of these rumors until her friend Zhao Lan, who always keeps her updated on the latest palace gossip, told her about it. This indicated that the story had only started circulating recently. The palace, surrounded by high walls and guarded by 4 main gates, seemed an unlikely place for a ghost to appear. Moreover, a deep moat encircling the palace walls, rumored to contain the remains of a concubine who tried to flee, made the palace seemingly impenetrable. Zhao Lan was worried about seeing the ghost, but Meow Meow dismissed it as just an old, overused ghost tale and a baseless rumor. Meow Meow hurried to the pharmacy, where she noticed a change in the physician's attitude towards her. Ever since he learned of her proficiency in pharmacology, he had become quite friendly. Meow Meow was about to enjoy some pastries and tea brought by the physician when an annoying interruption made her feel like she missed out on something enjoyable. She fixed her gaze on a eunuch who seemed to have nothing better to do. Eunuchs are usually stationed in the internal affairs department, but this one seemed to be constantly on the move, observing every corner of the harem as if he was on a secret mission. Meow Meow humorously speculated whether he was a high official or even the emperor's secret lover. Given his youthful appearance, Ren Shi handed a stack of papers to the physician, who then went into an inner room with a regretful look in his eyes. Meow Meow and Ren Shi then talked about the ghost rumors. When Ren Shi asked if Meow Meow knew anything about sleepwalking, she instinctively backed away, saying she didn't know as it wasn't something that could be cured with medicine. Ren Shi persisted, asking how it could be cured, but Meow Meow pushed him away, explaining she only knew about pharmacology. She avoided looking at him, but Ren Shi, undeterred, stepped in front of her, and she reluctantly agreed to try her best. In the middle of the night, Gao Shun came to get Meow Meow, carrying a lantern. He led the way as they chatted casually. They reached the east side palace gate where Meow Meow saw something unbelievable: a white figure of a woman dancing in the air, her clothes flowing elegantly. It looked like she was performing a dance on the palace wall under the moonlight. Meow Meow exclaimed in surprise, and Gao Shun, startled by her reaction, informed her that the figure was the Lotus concubine, a middle-ranking concubine who was soon to be bestowed upon a military officer. Once upon a time, there was a princess from a small kingdom, exceptionally talented in dance. However, during a performance for the emperor, she faltered, a mistake that haunted her for 2 years in the palace without receiving the emperor's favor. Now, she faced the daunting prospect of being handed over to a military officer. Meow Meow suspected that the fear and sorrow of this impending handover were the root causes of her sleepwalking. To learn more, Meow Meow and Gao Shun decided to visit the east side of the palace to observe the Lotus concubine. At night, she danced atop the palace walls like a ghostly figure, but by day, she was utterly different. They also spoke to Zhao Lan, a maid known for her chatty nature. Zhao Lan revealed that the ghostly appearances began about half a month ago, first seen on the north side of the palace. Meow Meow shared with Yu Yi Fei, another concubine, that sleepwalking is a bizarre ailment stemming from mental distress. She recounted a tale of a brothel woman who developed this condition. Once a jovial and poetic soul, her sleepwalking started when a supposed redemption from the brothel fell through. She would wander aimlessly through the brothel at night, waking up with no memory of her actions, only the evidence of muddy and bruised feet. The peculiar nocturnal activities ceased when the redemption was called off. Yu Yi Fei immediately connected the dots, realizing the woman in the story didn't want to be redeemed. The potential redeemer, a wealthy businessman, was already a married grandfather. The woman had preferred working another year to earn her freedom over being redeemed by him. Yu Yi Fei then related this insight to the Lotus concubine situation. As the day approached for the Lotus concubine to leave, Meow Meow had to part ways. The concubine, now confined and under strict guard, awaited her transfer. Yu Yi Fei, who had noticed Meow Meow's unusual behavior recently, chose not to question her further. On the day of the Lotus concubine's departure, she walked slowly towards the palace gate under the watchful eyes of all. Yu Yi Fei, seeking answers, approached Meow Meow. In response, Meow Meow shared yet another story of a sleepwalking brothel woman. Similar to the previous case, this woman began her nocturnal wanderings when a man deceitfully offered to redeem her. It was a ploy, orchestrated so that another man could redeem her for half the original price. The woman was far from fulfilling her contract, and the redeemer didn't have enough money for a full redemption. Yu Yi Fei Yi, grasping the complexities and manipulations in Meow Meow's narrative, understood the deeper implications of these stories. Once upon a time, there lived a princess from a distant land. Renowned for her grace and skill in dance, she and a low-ranking military officer, childhood friends and deeply in love, faced the cruel reality of their disparate social standings, making their union seem like an impossible dream. Despite this, the officer was determined to earn his stripes, hoping that one day his valor on the battlefield would grant him the hand of his beloved. In a twist of fate, the princess was cunningly sent to the emperor's harem, a move orchestrated by political machinations. Holding on to her love for the officer, she intentionally faltered in her dance, her forte, to ensure the emperor's disinterest. Her strategy succeeded, and for 2 years in the palace, she remained untouched, preserving her chastity. Meanwhile, the officer, driven by his undying love and a desire to prove his worth, achieved remarkable feats in war, gaining the emperor's favor. When he was rewarded for his latest victory, he requested the emperor for the lotus concubine, the princess herself. However, there was no certainty that the emperor would grant his wish, and fearing that she might be bestowed upon another, the princess resorted to feigning sleepwalking to escape her fate. As the day of her potential departure approached, the palace gates opened, revealing a scene of poignant beauty. The lotus concubine, in her moment of vulnerability, looked up, her face etched with a mix of hope and despair. In that instant, their eyes met, and without a word, they understood each other's hearts. Hand in hand, they walked away from the palace, stepping into a new chapter of their lives, together at last. If you don't assert yourself, others might underestimate you. Let's rewind a few days when the emperor paid a visit to Lady Jade's palace. After the usual dose of antidote, Meow Meow was on her way out when the emperor dropped a decree. She was tasked with caring for a sick concubine, and failure wasn't an option. Her assignment took her to the Crystal Palace to attend to concubine Pear Blossom. Step 1. Improve her diet. But, alas, the palace maids, clueless and disapproving of Meow Meow's plain food, spilled it on the floor. Undaunted, Meow Meow cleaned up and headed to the kitchen. Armed with the emperor's temporary authority, she whipped up a new meal to detoxify concubine Pear Blossom. Yet the palace maids obstructed her again. The next day, Meow Meow tried to offer a nourishing gruel with diuretic tea and easy-to-digest fruits, only to be thwarted once more. Frustrated, Meow Meow aimed to conduct a physical examination, but the maids played gatekeepers. Despite their outward respect, they neglected the patient, and blame fell on Meow Meow, who was eventually ousted. Thanks to Lady Wren's intervention, Meow Meow finally gained access. While trying to feed concubine Pear Blossom, Meow Meow noticed her weakness and surprisingly flawless complexion. Confronting the neglectful maids, Meow Meow's suppressed anger erupted as she sternly questioned their lack of care. Thus began a tense confrontation. With a loud snap, the sound reverberated throughout the room. Meow Meow quickly seized the fallen maid's hair, coming to a stop in front of the punishment stand. She held a beautifully crafted container in her empty hand, pouring its contents over the maid, creating a cloud of white powder. Meow Meow wasn't upset about the disdainful looks or spilled porridge. Her frustration stemmed from the maid's foolishness and their arrogant assumptions. Pulling the maid's hair upward, she turned toward Pear Blossom's bed. I thought Lady Pear Blossom would like it. Didn't I mention it's poisonous? You never use your brains. You've always been so arrogant, haven't you? Who would like poison that could kill their own child? Observing the heartbroken maid, Meow Meow directed her to quickly rinse her mouth and wash her face. Anxious, she realized Pear Blossom's condition was worse than anticipated. Meow Meow recooked the coarse grain gruel into rice soup, patiently feeding her, arranging the room for ventilation multiple times, instructing maids to bathe Pear Blossom, who hadn't bathed for days. Meow Meow felt sympathy for the inept maids and eunuchs who hadn't received the white powder. They faced whipping, possibly ordered by the Emperor or Lady Jade, with Lady Wang's frequent visits. Miao Miao, looking to take advantage of the situation, requested the temporary transformation of the Crystal Palace's bathhouse. Now, in addition to the existing bath, they could enjoy steam baths. After 2 months, while full recovery would take more time, Pear Blossom's cheeks had regained a healthy color, no longer on the brink of life and death. Thanks to Miao Miao's attentive care, Princess Pear Blossom got better over time. After 2 months, she had recovered enough to take walks on her own. Despite the unexpected incident involving the Crown Prince, Miao Miao realized that Pear Blossom wasn't just a pampered princess. She had a strong sense of self-esteem, humility, and the qualities expected of a consort. As Miao Miao prepared to say goodbye, offering advice on future dietary therapy and some precautions, she stressed the importance of avoiding comparisons in the diverse world of flowers. Pear Blossom, feeling inadequate compared to Lady Jade's emerald eyes and light-colored hair, received a secret technique from Miao Miao. Unfortunately, Miao Miao couldn't use it due to her physique, and only Pear Blossom was suitable. Whatever Miao Miao shared caused Pear Blossom to blush like an apple. After Miao Miao returned to the Emerald Palace, there was a period where the Emperor rarely visited. A casual remark from Lady Jade made Miao Miao feel guilty, as it was all because of her actions. To take care of the sick Pear Blossom, Miao Miao ended up losing some weight. Once back at the Emerald Palace, everyone was determined to feed her generously to help her regain those lost pounds. Seizing a moment of free time, Miao Miao explored a pine forest near the east gate and luckily stumbled upon a bunch of matsutake mushrooms. Excited about her find, Miao Miao now faced the challenge of enjoying these mushrooms without revealing where she got them. But before dealing with that, she decided to visit Zhao Lan, treating her to some matsutake. Zhao Lan's eyes sparkled, and during a short break, they sat behind the laundry area, chatting. In their conversation, Zhao Lan shared an intriguing gossip about a palace maid using an aphrodisiac to attract an uninterested military officer. This revelation made Miao Miao unexpectedly break into a cold sweat, considering her prior involvement with medicine for Ren Shi. The next day, Miao Miao discreetly brought matsutake to the pharmacy, surprising the mediocre doctor who eagerly prepared them. However, a flustered eunuch entered, claiming to be cursed with a rash, showing hands covered in reddish-brown rashes. The story unfolded that 2 days ago, while burning waste on the west side of the harem, the eunuch found a woman's clothing with scattered wooden slips inside. The clothing had a burnt mark on the sleeve. Intrigued, he threw a wooden slip into the fire, causing a frightening blaze. After recounting the story, the eunuch shivered in fear, and Miao Miao, showcasing her skills, ignited a wooden slip, sprinkled some powder, and created changing colors yellow, red, and finally green. Both the eunuch and the mediocre doctor were astonished. Miao Miao explained that the eunuch's hands likely reacted to something on the wooden slip, and she handed him a box of ointment. Applause filled the room, in contrast to Miao Miao's usual indifference. Ren Shi maintained her enchanting smile. When the mediocre doctor brought tea with enthusiasm, the room was left with only the eunuch,